Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So guys, this is a special session and in this session I'll be discussing with you a sound exam oriented strategy for your English comprehension part. So don't miss out on the session and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So before we go any further guys, let me discuss with you the importance of a sound strategy when you are appearing for this exam. Right. So first let me show you some figures. For the last 10 years or so, English, quants, and reasoning, they have been the integral components of UPSC CSAT part, right? If you look at 2014, English used to be about the number of questions for out of 80, English used to be about 30, 33, 32 questions, whereas quants and reasoning were about 26 and 27, 24, 26, something like that, right? So that used to be the breakup of the questions. But as the years moved on, quantitative aptitude, the number of questions for quantitative aptitude have gone up, but similarly at the same point of time, the level of questions have also, has also gone up. So that is one big challenge. So if you see in the last years, 2023, the number of question for quantitative aptitude have gone up to 43, whereas reasoning has slumped down to 10, 11, and English almost stays common somewhere between 26, 27 in the last couple of years. So see guys, the first strategy is you cannot crack this exam just by preparing for only one, just by focusing on only one or two subjects. This is called aptitude. Then you have to be above average in all the three. So the best strategy is to not place all your eggs in one basket, to prepare for all the three subjects equally. There you have your your strong subjects and your weak subjects, but still at the same point of time you cannot just expect to score 40 out of 43 in maths or 25 out of 26 in English. You can't target these questions, so you have to balance it out. Some 15 20 questions from comprehension, similarly some 15 to 20 questions in quantitative aptitude, and then some 5 to 7 8 questions in your reasoning. That will take you to your desired score, right? So first strategy is, do not focus on only one subject, focus on more than one subject, probably all the three. That's what my suggestion would be, so that whatever the level of questions that are given to you in the exam is, you do not worry about or do not panic in the exam, so that you still have a backup plan with you, right? So that is my first tip to you. Prepare for all the three subjects: quantitative aptitude, reasoning, as well as English, and your final score should be an amalgamation of all the three, right? Some questions from quant, some from reasoning, and some from English will bring you to the final score. The cutoff score, that is 80 marks out of 200. That is what you have to target, right? So to get to that, you need around 37 questions out of 80 to be correct, right? So the total question is total number of marks is 200 and the total number of questions are 80. So you need to target only 33% out of that. So that is the easiest part, but you cannot get all the questions from one section, so you have to balance it out. Sorry. So let's start with the tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you. So first of all, you need to understand guys, RC questions have had a big say in CSAT paper all along. As I told you earlier, that English, if you look at the gray line, English has always been an integral part of CSAT, right? So RC questions, reading comprehension questions, have had a big say in the CSAT paper. The number of questions in the last 4 years have ranged from 26 to 30. That means 33 to 38%, exactly what you need to crack your exam, right? The length of the passages have been between 80 words for one passage, then somewhat around 200 words for 4 questions. That means level 3 passages. Hence it becomes all the more important to understand the passage holistically and to solve the questions in a synchronized way. Now, how to do that? Let us discuss that. Now guys, first of all, before you start with your preparation, you need to understand the psychology behind descriptive part. Now, reading comprehension is the perception, making sense of, and comprehension of written matters. In more clear words, it is basically to cognize. That means to really understand something that we call what is written between the lines. ये नहीं जो उसने साफ साफ लिखा है, बट जो ऑथर कहना चाह रहा है उस बात से, उसको समझ पाना, उसको बोलते हैं कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. सो इन मोर क्लियर वर्ड्स, इट इज टू कॉग्नाइज इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट्स द इंफॉर्मेशन, द फीलिंग्स एंड थॉट्स दैट आर desired to be transmitted as they are without having caused any misunderstanding in this course. So since reading comprehension requires effective utilization of cognitive structure, cognitive hypothesis, which focus more on perceptive skills, memory, and the strategies required to perform mental operations. So it's all about how well you understand the cognitive structure of the passage. Is it skeptical, is it appreciative, is it informative, apprehensive, what tone has been used in the passage. So once you understand that, then cognitive hypothesis, what is the cognitive hypothesis he's trying to, hypothesis he's trying to bring in the fore, and how well you cognize that, right? And then your perceptive skills, how perceptive you are to understand what has been conveyed by the, or what has been informed by the author in the passage. Then how you well you memorize, and then the strategies that are required to crack the questions. That is the ball game here altogether. So basically, comprehension is about to read between the lines, to infer and collate information from the passage, to be original in your understanding, and to be able to be articulate your answer. So these are the key points, or let's say the core points of your comprehension. Now guys, I'll be sharing with you 5 very useful tricks and tips to crack reading comprehension. So please understand and please memorize them so that you are able to develop your cognitive skills. So there are 5 tips that I'll be discussing with you now. First, broaden your knowledge base, broaden your understanding of the topic. See guys, if there is a topic that you do not know about, obviously it will seem difficult to you, right? So my question is, what section of newspaper do you turn to while reading a newspaper? Which section do you read very carefully, or which section do you enjoy? Now, reading articles on topics which you understand and know about is very easy as compared to reading on alien topics. That is true. Hence, it is very important to develop a broad background of knowledge in various fields. So you need to have a broad background of knowledge in various fields, right? Science, technology, health, economic and social issues, finance and financial issues of the country, then healthcare, education, right? These things are very important to understand these passages. So it is important to have or to develop a broad background of knowledge in various fields. Remember that these passages can come from any field in reading comprehension questions. Now you can improve your knowledge base by reading books, newspapers, magazines, articles, and periodicals, and I'll tell you which sources to follow at the end of this session. So you can read books, newspaper, magazines, start taking interest in what is happening around the world. That is true, right? You need to know what is going on around you, otherwise you'll not be able to understand or cognize what has been conveyed by the author. This would not only help you develop your reading skills, but also help you during your GD and personal interview stage. Now read from a broad range of topics to avoid monotony. So find out different crucial topics that can be that you need to understand for your exam, right? About sand, about soil, soil conservation, about water crisis. So you should know about these things, about COP28, right? So these are very important topics for you to know. So that was first tip. Second tip is learn to understand the structure of paragraphs. Most often the paragraphs used in reading comprehension passages are taken from articles or periodicals written by good authors in the newspapers, right? Seasoned editors write these articles. Now these writers generally have a well-defined structure of constructing a paragraph. Their paragraphs will mostly have a proper beginning, middle part, and an end section. So you need to understand start understanding the structure of paragraph: introduction, body, conclusion part, right? Now knowing the functions of the respective parts can help you understand what the passage is trying to convey. Now introductory part will give you the broad picture, right? It will open the curtain for you. Then the middle part will tell you what are the plus and minus of this topic, right, of this context, and then in the end he'll tell you what he expects from the topic. So that is how you understand the structure, right? So knowing the functions of respective parts, that is beginning, middle, and end section, will help you understand what the passage is trying to convey. For example, the first sentence will most probably be constructed in such a way that it gives the reader the main idea of what is to come in the passage. Exactly as I told you, the opening line is always the introductory line. It gives you the broad picture, what we are going to discuss in the passage. So learn to understand the structure of paragraphs in your exam for your passages. Next, choose your passages very carefully. As I told you guys, you cannot target all the questions from every section, right? So you need to be careful which questions do you need to target and which questions are you going to attempt. So choose your passages carefully. What does that mean? Accuracy holds the key. As you know, there is negative marking in this exam, guys. 0.25 marks will be deducted for every wrong answer. So you need to understand, not 0.25, 0.85. I mean, because the weightage is 2.5 marks, right? So basically 1/4 of the one yeah, 1/3, sorry, 1/3 of the weightage will be deducted in negative marking. So accuracy holds the key in reading comprehension as well as verbal ability as a whole. So accuracy is very important. So try and finish each passage and easy passages first instead of wasting time on tough passages. So target easy passages. Now the question is, how would you know if the passage is easy or not? Right? So how would I know the passage is easy? Keep two things in mind. First, is the topic of the passage something you are familiar with? Do you know what is being talked about? And second, are the questions direct or twisted? Are they factual or are they inferential, or are they giving statements based questions? So that is what you need to check before you start attempting the passages. Now solve passages having direct questions first. Factual questions are easy to find, so solve them first. It will be better if the passage is on a subject which you know about, hence selection becomes important, right? So it's better if you know about the topic, and if you can choose the questions carefully and wisely and target only those questions which you are 100% sure about. So efficiency and accuracy both will play an important role in this exam. Now third tip. So we have done broaden your database, understand the structure of paragraphs, choose your passages carefully. Fourth tip is avoid long passages with few questions. Now guys, in continuation with the previous point, so I'll say try to avoid long passages with few questions. That is, poor efficiency. This will save a lot of time and you can concentrate on smaller passages with more questions. So guys, roughly, if I can say, there are about 70 to 75% level 1 passages. So 75% there are level 1 passages in your exam. That is there will be one passage and there will be one question on it. I think 10% are level 2 passages where you'll have 2 questions, and then I think 15% passages are level 3 passages which have 3 or 4 or more questions. So instead of focusing on these first, they're obviously efficient, but you need to focus on these as well. So there should be a balance between the three. How do you need to choose? I told you, look for the topic first. Do you know the topic? And then look for the questions. Are they factual or inferential? So in continuation with the point, I'll say avoid long passages with only a few questions. This will save a lot of time. However, you must remember that it is most likely, or it is more likely, that the long passages with few questions would be easier and may contain direct questions. So that is also the catch. In the end, you will have to choose your strategy carefully, keeping in mind all the factors. But if you have an option, go for the passages with more questions, which are easier and which are the topic, where the topic seems relative to you. It seems that you are able to solve it on your own. And last tip for your, for a practical approach, focus on comprehension instead of speed. Many students believe it's about speed, guys. It's not. So you have to focus on only comprehension, how well you can answer the questions. Time is not the problem. You have 2 hours to solve only 80 questions, right? So it's not too big of a deal. Time is not the issue, and you only have to target somewhat around 40-45 questions just to get through the just to qualify through the paper, right? So that is the limit that you have to reach. So it's not a big problem. 40 questions, 45 questions in 2 hours, I think it's doable. So don't hurry, don't rush. So while reading, speed is a key factor in saving time, but it is not the most important criteria. Please remember this, guys. While reading, speed is important to save time, but it is not the most important criteria. One can read a passage very fast without really understanding what it is about, right? You can just skim through the passage. Hence, you need to make sure that you pay more attention to reading comprehension instead of just reading speed. So how fast you can read the passage will not matter. How well you can comprehend it, that is going to matter. So you should be able to comprehend the passage fast. This will help you a lot in solving the questions. On the other hand, if you just read fast and do not comprehend properly, you may have to revert to the passage and again, and this will lead to wastage of time. So only read the passage once so that you are able to comprehend everything in one go. That should be your target. So 5 things that we discussed. Number 1, broaden your background, broaden your database. Number two, learn to understand the structure of paragraphs. Number three, choose your passages carefully, don't waste your time. Be selective in your choosing your target passages. Avoid long passages with fewer questions, although that may not always be the case, but there might be a few, so avoid them. And last, focus on comprehension, not on speed. So these are the 5 tips that I wanted to share with you, so that you can develop a sound strategy and execute it well in your exams for reading comprehension part. Now, what should be your approach when you are preparing for the exam? Read selective topics only. Don't read, political topics like BJP, Aam Aadmi Party, Congress. Don't read such topics. Don't read regional topics, or topics which are related to one particular issue, or any disorder, or any such protest or all that. These are never used in your UPSC passages. Read about general topics: climate, healthcare, education, finance, economy, rural sector, agriculture, right, global warming. These are the topics that are frequently asked in the exam. Artificial intelligence, science and technology, as I told you, electric cars, renewable sources of energy. So these are the topics that are frequently asked in your exam, right? So read about them. So read selective topics only. Develop conceptual understanding as well as practical approach. So you need to first develop your conceptual understanding, so that you understand what is the message conveyed by the author in the passage, and then you need to have a practical approach to solve the passages, solve the questions, because as I've told you in the course as well, we first eliminate and then we reach the final conclusion, the final answer, right? So develop a proper approach to solve your questions. Start your preparation on time. Many students believe that CSAT can be done in last 1 month or so. It cannot be done this in that short span of time. So you need to start preparing for your CSAT. Start building up your concepts, and start learning the way to to score well in every mock test that you appear for. So start your preparation in time or on time, so that you do not lag behind. And last but not the least, practice a lot. Practice is the key for this exam, and I'm sure you'll do. You understand that without this, you'll not be able to finally, get across. And this might lead to, wastage of 1 year if you do not pay attention to this. Now, before I end the session, guys, I would also like to give you some important sources that you can use to prepare for this exam. Now, for vocabulary, you can use a very old and tried and tested book, Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis, for vocabulary. If you think that you are you need to develop your vocabulary from ground up, this is the best book available out there. Then for reading habit, you need to have a good reading habit, as I told you in the session. So read newspaper articles, online articles from Live Mint or the Hindu. These are good sources to keep yourself updated with logical and verbose language that is used in this. So they are good sources. Now for revision and practice, I only suggest previous year questions, because that is the best source that you can refer to, and you'll get the context that in what language do you get the passages in the exam. So that is my take. Use PYQs. And for guidance, I suggest you join us in our comprehensive course, where we provide one-on-one mentorship to you, along with weekly live doubt sessions, live mock tests, and I'll tell you what we are offering in this course. So in just 100 hours, we are preparing you for all the concept classes, test series, weekly live doubt sessions, and live revision classes in this in this comprehensive course. So if you want to join our course, the link has been given in the description of the video. Come join us and get benefited from it. So if you want to contact us, you can always call us on this number, that is 8146207241, or you can also drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in. That is our email ID, www.edutap.co.in. You can drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to help you out. So I hope these sessions are helping you in your preparation, in your journey ahead. Keep on working hard, guys. Keep on giving your best, and I'm sure you'll do very well in the long run. So guys, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll bring more such sessions every week for you, so that we can help you out in your preparation, and exam is just around the corner. So I think it is high time we started preparing, and we pulled up our socks, we pulled up our sleeves, and give our best for this. So keep on working hard, guys. Keep on giving your best, and I'm sure you'll do very well in the long run. So thank you so much once again, and happy learning to all of you.